Have you ever noticed that most people don't actually fail at money because they're irresponsible? They fail because they're following rules that were never designed to make them wealthy in the first place. Not bad rules, just incomplete ones. Let's start with a familiar situation. Imagine a young professional in the United States or Europe, mid to late 20s, college educated, a decent job. They earn, let's say, $60,000 a year in the US or the European equivalent. After taxes, healthcare, and social contributions, that's closer to $3,700 a month landing in their account. Now the real world shows up. Rent or mortgage takes $1,400, car payment and insurance another $450, student loans $300, utilities, phone, internet, subscriptions, groceries about $800. Before life even begins, over $3,000 is already gone. What's left? Around $700. This is where the unspoken rules quietly take over. Because socially, this person is doing well. They have a stable job. They're independent. They're not struggling. So that remaining money gets absorbed by lifestyle expectations. Occasional dining out, a weekend trip, upgrading a phone that still works, a credit card balance that slowly carries over. Nothing extreme, nothing reckless, and yet 10 years later, their net worth hasn't moved much. Here's the hidden mistake most people don't realize they're making. They believe long-term money growth comes from earning more later, instead of structuring life correctly early. Let's use simple math. If this person saves $300 a month, that's $3,600 a year. Invested at a modest long-term return, say 7%, after 30 years, that becomes roughly $340,000. That sounds okay, until you realize something uncomfortable. That number assumes consistency most people never maintain, because life gets more expensive, rent goes up, cars get upgraded, families start, lifestyle expands to match income, sometimes faster. So saving becomes optional, then irregular, then postponed. The real cost isn't the missed $300, it's the time that money never had to grow. This is where psychology matters more than math. Humans don't feel long-term losses. We feel short-term discomfort. Spending $300 less this month feels restrictive. Losing $300,000 in future wealth feels abstract, almost imaginary. Our brains are wired to protect present comfort, not future freedom. And the system quietly reinforces this. Credit makes everything feel affordable. Monthly payments hide total cost. Marketing normalizes constant upgrades, so people optimize for monthly survivability, not long-term growth. Over decades, that creates a silent outcome. People who did everything right end up dependent on salaries longer than they planned. Retirement becomes a calculation instead of a choice. Financial stress doesn't disappear, it just changes shape. Now, here's the shift most financially intelligent people make, and it's subtle. They don't obsess over getting rich. They don't chase returns. They don't constantly upgrade their lives. They think in structures, not goals. They ask different questions, not can I afford this monthly, but does this permanently reduce my flexibility? Not will I earn more later, but what decisions today lock in future pressure? They understand that the real engine of long-term money growth isn't income, it's low financial drag, lower fixed expenses, fewer obligations that grow with lifestyle, more room for time to do its work. When they earn more, they don't immediately expand their life to match it. They let the gap exist. That gap is where wealth quietly forms. No excitement, no dramatic turning point, just consistency and patience. And here's the most important part. They don't judge themselves harshly for past choices. They don't feel guilty for enjoying life. They simply become more intentional. Long-term money growth isn't about discipline as punishment. It's about clarity. Understanding that money doesn't grow because you want it to. It grows because you give it time, space, and stability. Most people are never taught that rule. If this way of thinking helped you see money a little more clearly, you might enjoy the conversations we have here. You can subscribe if you'd like to keep exploring them.